Hey everybody, how you doing today? Wedgie here. I'm shooting this video for you guys. A second time. And it's going to be a long one. And I'm doing it in 90 degrees. In my 4th floor apartment. Without any air conditioner or fan. Because when either of them are running, the wind interferes with my shitty mic. And turns into ear rape on cellular devices. And apparently, 40% of all YouTube users watch on cellular devices. Appreciate me, please. But we are here with another Small Game Sunday, and thank you all for tuning in. Today we are playing Subnautica, an absolutely beautiful and huge game. There's so much to do. I know this isn't particularly a small game, but it is a small developer. It's not AAA rated, and it's really fun. And you know what? Variety is the spice of life. My grandfather told me that. I butchered the quote a little. He actually said transsexuals are the spice of life, but we don't need to go there. So what are we going to do today? Well, first, I'm going to go show you guys my base. Then I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks, and then I'll show you guys how to cheat and why you might need to. So this is my base. As you can see, we have the bottom tier right there, a big old tube with some rooms on it. We have our first part of our upper base right there, and then we have our second part back there. So it looks pretty neat, and I have a whole bunch of power going to this thing. I don't know if I needed that much power, but I kept getting an error that I had insufficient power. It would kick back on, I would have power, it would go back off, so when I just put down a massive amount of power units, it decided to work. Maybe I went a little overboard, maybe I didn't. I'll let you guys decide.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Well, thank you, ship. Anyway, there's not a lot to decorate in this game. And, oh, I shut that door. There's not a whole lot to decorate in the game. And it even says, remember, this isn't your home. This is a base, a means of survival. So they purposely made it so you can't really decorate. Now, so all we really have is a bunch of plants, and I don't really have nothing planting in them, but we got some plants there and some plant walls right there. And then I got these doors because not only do they look nice, and you know, a bedroom always needs privacy, and that's what this is. Now, if a fish would attack or something, and it won't in this biome, or if I would run into this with my Cyclops, holes would go in here and fill this up with water. But if the doors were shut, it would not go past this door, it would not go past this door, so only this little bit in that room over there would become flooded. Everything else would be perfectly fine. And when I would open the door, it would start to flood a little, but then it would drain out as soon as the door was shut. Now, this is the bedroom. Here we got... We got that little guy. He was a pre-order bonus. We got a comms relay. And he's one of the only little aesthetically pleasing things there is. We got a snack machine that you can get snacks from, and a coffee machine. Now, they're not great sources of energy or hydration because I believe the snacks only give like 4 energy and -3 hydration, and the coffee only gives like 4 hydration. Now, the chips you can keep getting over and over and over. The coffee takes like 20 seconds to brew. But it's nice to have, you know, and it's free stuff, and if you're really in a pickle, I guess you could use it. Now, here we got the trash can, and it's not your ordinary storage, as you might guess. You look into it, this stuff is gone. It deletes stuff as you put it in there. So, we got some neat stuff, and we can sleep, and time passes when we sleep as well. Wake up. You know, wakey wake. Oh, and we are stretching. We're sleepy little boys. And now it's nighttime. Let's change that. Day. I'll show you how to do that later. So, let's go into our other room. We'll go into the scanner room next. Now, the point of this room, here's a little tip, even though, you know, I told you the tips were coming later, is you can choose what you want to look for. Let's see, let's go for quartz. So you tell it you want to find quartz, and then it comes up on this little heads-up display, but other than that, it shows it for you physically. Now, if we were to go out there and go to that little orange marker, which is right there, I could go, but I'm lazy, so I won't. There would be quartz right there. It takes you to exactly where the stuff is. Very neat. Let's go upstairs, Got some more little planters and some windows, and as you see, I had a window downstairs as well. Here is our moon room, or moon pool, or whatever it's called. And we got a little sitting area with some more plants. We got a locker for, you know, storing stuff that we might need for our sea moth or our tall leg guy. And then we got a power cell charger. Simple and clean and, you know, to the point, stuff that would make sense being in here. Now obviously this is only for one person. It might look like it's built for more than one, but we'll just pretend there are other people here with us. We're going a little stir crazy. Now we got some medkit fabricators right there for easy access, and here is our second upstairs. We got our little workshop area with a whole bunch of storage. You're going to need a massive amount of storage in this game. We got our modification station, some more chargers. We got a fabricator, two medkit fabricators, and if you see back there, I messed up a little. It would not let me craft them there for some reason. I think it's because I reinforced every window in here, and for some reason it just didn't want to build. So, yeah, this is a pretty straightforward room. The only thing we really have for decoration is this little shelf, and it makes sense, because in a workroom you would want to have a little shelf or something to work on. Ooh, look at the fishies. Now over here, here's our final room, and we have our alien containment. I lost all my little eggy eggs, so I don't have anything in there right now, but there will be eventually. And then on all these walls, we got, you know, something a little more aesthetic. We got the leaves growing on them. So, that's nice. They don't really do nothing. The other plants, at least you can plant stuff in. And, little secret, I thought it would be cool. We got a little planty plant right there, too. So that's my base. I hope you guys like my base. Give me some suggestions on what you want to see me put in here, what I should do differently. Most importantly, what can I put in the middle of this room? It seems, even though there's more stuff in this room than any other room, it seems empty. Alrighty guys, now for some tips and tricks. I will see you in a moment. So when you first start this game, my biggest thing was water. Now if you see these purple sideways fish right there, that's the only one I could find right now. I want to get away from him. My biggest thing was water. I had no idea how to make it other than using bleach. And you only start the game with 2 or 3 bottles of water. I'll show you guys how to get the salt to make bleach in a moment. But first off, take a look at this fish right here, the bladderfish. If you actually take this to a fabricator, you can fabricate it into pure water. And, oops, I did not want to go in there. And the pure water is worth 20 water points, hydration points, which is only half as much as bleach, but those fish are readily available almost everywhere. Now when you see them, they're usually in small schools of 3 or 4, so that's plenty of water. Now let me show you guys how to get salt for bleach, because that can be tricky too. Alrighty boys, so as you can see, we're in a slightly new area now. There are them giant, like, jellyfish, whale type things floating around up there, and there's red grass everywhere. This is actually referred to as the grass biome. It's a little bit deeper than the safe biome, and it's about 500-ish yards, 300 to 500 yards away from where we were originally. So not far, and a little bit deeper. Now down here there are a couple things that are dangerous. You can usually see where they are. There will be like smoky patches on the ground. Right there's one. They hide in the ground. They're not too bad. If you slash them with a knife, they'll run away. But this is the best place to find, turn the lights off. This is the best place to find salt. Now, if you notice right there's some, and certainly salt can spawn in the safe biome, but this is definitely one of the better places to find it. There's salt there, salt there, salt there. And to get coral to make bleach, all you need is a standard utility knife and the giant circular things of tube coral. You just slash it and then you get common coral samples. And another thing I want to show you while we're here is why you should make a scanner pretty much right away. And something is already attacking me. What is it? It looked like a little biter. Get away. And we killed him right away. So a scanner is probably one of the most important tools. I did not make it right away, and that was a problem of mine. And what it does is not only can you scan fish and living things, but you can also scan machine parts. Now I think I got everything outside of here already. Is this, or is that, yeah, it's metal salvage. But I know inside I did not. And you'll come across these big wrecked pieces of the Aurora sometimes, and you usually won't be able to get into them without either a repair tool or a laser cutter. Now this one required a laser cutter. As you can see, I cut it open already. We go inside, and there's actually a room there, but we'll get to that in a second. And I cut this door open too, and if you need a repair tool, you'll actually see like a little black box on the side that you just, use the repair tool on, it repairs it. It's actually a lot quicker than the cutting tool, but you'll see there are parts in here that you can scan. Now I have these recipes already, but when you scan them, you'll get like 50% complete or something. I already had it, so I only got a little titanium. But after you get 100% complete, you get a new recipe. Now I don't know that I've been in here. So mobile vehicle bay. Yeah, I think I've been in here actually. Yeah, I remember this place. And you can occasionally scan chairs and desks and stuff like that too. And it's really nice. So that's how you get some new recipes. And now, like I said, this is just for like the very beginners. Down in this grassy biome, if you're careful and you look around enough, this is where you'll get your mobile vehicle bay. We already found one in there. And the sea moth fragments are also scattered in here as well. So that's an easy way to get your first ship. And this is the sea moth right here. It is the fastest vehicle in the game, albeit a little bit squishy. So that's how you stay hydrated and get some food. And wow, he is really low down there. What does he do? He is bugging out. Holy crap. He must be a sleepy little feller. What is he doing? Anyway, that is how you get water, and that is how you get some of the very first stuff in the game. Now let's look at some tips and tricks for building your first base. Alrighty guys, so here we are at my very first base. I built this very early in the game, and I wanted something above water, because I have deep water anxiety. This is the safe biome, so I wanted to build here. There isn't anywhere to build above water other than these rocks, unless you wanted to go to like the mountain biome, Gun Island or whatever, or, the floating island, which are a little bit more dangerous to be around, and I wanted to be in the safe biome. So this is the best I got. And there aren't many, tips for building bases other than don't do it half above water like I did here. Because, well, this is why. I'll show you. Right here, my base is perfectly secured, it's perfectly fine, and it's perfectly sealed. But as you can see, since it's half above water, the water comes in. Now it doesn't count as water, it's just the animation. You can jump, there's no splashing. Over here, you can go downstairs, and there's absolutely no water down there. It is just a bug, a glitch, or, a bad animation. And the only other tip I really have is don't build your scanner room directly above or below anything unless you have something connected to the side of it. You cannot attach a ladder to a scanner room, and it only makes sense because of the big hologram in the middle of the room. So make sure there's always something connecting to your scanner room from the side. As you can see, I have one up there, and I have no way to access it. So back to building half above water. Another reason you don't want to do it, and this is why I activated cheats in the first place, is because this is my very first submarine. I spent a good hour trying to get the, recipes for it and the vehicle modification station, and a lot of resources to build it, only for it to spawn right here.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Where it cannot move. It's completely stationary, no matter how hard I try to move it. So I activated cheats because I feel if it can spawn in a place where it can't even move, then it's only sensical that a cheat could be used, a debug, using the debug console to get yourself a, whatever you missed out on.
Captain.
Now, I went a little overboard and pretty much did everything with cheats, but that was only for the purpose of making this video. Now, if you have a glitch, or you just want to break the game, let me show you how to activate cheats. Alrighty everyone, so we are back at my basic, base here, and one thing about, submarines and stuff is, it's easier to see with them in the water at night because they're floodlights. So what if you wanted it to be nighttime? Well, you type in night. If you want it to be daytime, you type in day. Two cheats that I use quite a lot. Now, what if you wanted an item? Well, you type in item, space, and then, for example, heat blade, and I got a thermo blade. Now, I chose to get a thermo blade for a very specific reason, and that's because most things you can just type in the name of the item that you want. For example, item scanner. And I got a scanner. But for some reason, in the game's database, the thermo blade is actually called the heat blade, and you need to type that in to get it. Cheats are very useful. You can do a lot of things. You can spawn ships, you can teleport your character places, and you can actually teleport things to you. For example, if I wanted, I could break the game entirely by teleporting the Aurora right in front of me. That would be disastrous though, and I don't plan on doing it. But how do you cheat? Well, it's pretty easy. Most games, if you're familiar with like Fallout or Skyrim, or actually a lot of games, like I know even the Dragon Age games have a console command, and usually you hit the tilde key to bring it up, but in this game it's disabled until you turn it on. And to turn it on, you first need to hit F3, and you'll get a whole thing of data coming up at the side of your screen. But you can't click or interact with any of it until you hit F8, and you bring up the feedback bar, and then you'll get a cursor. So what you do is right here you'll see a checkbox that says disable console. You want to make sure that is unchecked. Now when you save the game and close out and you go to play again, you'll have to check it and uncheck it again to enable the console. So after you uncheck that, you just hit F8 again, and then you hit F3 again. And you can now hit enter or the tilde key, and you can type in a list of codes. I will post a link at the bottom to a list of codes that you can type in, and somewhere on that list will also be another page link that'll link you to a list of all the item names so you can spawn pretty much whatever you want. Now, like I said, most of these are cheats, but they can be useful. If you screwed up completely like I did, and your Seamoth got obliterated, or not obliterated, just completely stuck, you can spawn yourself a Seamoth. That's not cheating. When the game breaks, you're allowed to break the game a little. But anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked my very basic tips on where to find things. I hope you liked my base. I hope you hated the video. Either way, thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it so much. We're approaching 100 subs, and I appreciate all your feedback. I use your comments to make my videos better. But thanks. Please hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and I will taco to you later.